AI can generate text. AI can create artwork. AI can retouch images. AI can help design workflows. AI can help analyze data. AI can solve academic evaluations. Yes, AI can do a lot. But what happens when the term AI can sinks further down the rabbit hole of doing what humanity never imagined, something as formidable and dark as reading human minds? Yes, this is our topic for today, and believe me, you will be left in awe after knowing about the prospects, just like I was. Before we dig super deep, let me build some context. Mind reading might not sound like a futuristic thing, but do you know that it's been around since the dawn of human history? Yep, we're talking way back, like ancient myths, religious texts, and deep philosophical talks kind of ancient. Fast forward to the 20th century when the computing race had just begun. Many researchers thought, why not use this tool called computer to crack what is happening inside a human brain? Modern psychology came into play, helping those geniuses get all systematic about the human noggin. And in 1921, an indirect hope emerged. It was the time when the world was introduced to a new device called a lie detector or polygraph. Now, this is not directly reading what's inside a human brain, but in my humble opinion, without questioning its accuracy, half of the job was done. Why I believe this? Because now humans had found a new way to evaluate a person's words corresponding to his actual intentions. How did this device work? Well, to keep things straightforward, the gadget wasn't some sci-fi AI wizardry, but it pretty much worked like AI by collecting data, analyzing it, drawing patterns, and coming to meaningful conclusions. So it measured things like blood pressure, pulse, breathing, and skin stuff. Because when people lie, their body goes all stressy, and these readings could help in catching them red-handed. The device compared these readings to some fancy standards and gave a verdict. Now remember, it's not an AI because it can't learn or imitate to think like one. But yeah, it was like the very first tech attempt at getting inside someone's head. Oh, and fun fact, remember Bob Lazar, the guy who claimed to have worked on a UFO at Area 51? Yeah, he passed the lie detector test. But that's a whole other story for another day. By now, you must be wondering if modern-day AIs have become capable enough to read human minds. For the answer, let me take you to Japan. Yu Takagi, a 34-year-old neuroscientist and assistant professor at Osaka University of Japan, along with his teammates, used Stable Diffusion to achieve something that would blow your minds. I beg your pardon, read your minds. Stable Diffusion helped investigate the brain scans of participants who underwent MRI scans while viewing a multitude of images. Takagi, along with his research partner Nishimoto, devised a method to transform brain activity into an understandable format. What could be more comprehensible than images? Through this method, they managed to generate images that closely resembled the originals without any prior training or information. You might be curious about how this algorithm can yield meaningful results when our brains are constantly processing thousands of things per second. Well, they somehow identify and analyze the most prominent brain signals. This involves exposing the individual to a data set to the extent that it becomes the predominant thought in their mind. Approximately 10,000 images are presented to the subject over a 40-hour period to reinforce a specific thought for accurate reconstruction. I've heard of reinforcement learning in AI, but never knew that even us humans would be used as specimen for serving this great field of research. Don't worry, after covering all the developments, I will look into the implications. But as you might be wondering about the precision of these tests, here's what I found out. Initially, Takagi and his team believed they could decode these signals into binary pixels or shapes. However, human brains are far more intricate than initially thought. When it comes to visual information, our brains process it hierarchically, breaking it down into various levels of features or components with varying levels of complexity. Fortunately, they were aided by new AI techniques that could detect objects instead of relying solely on binary pixels. The research team concluded a 10-month experiment involving 3 subjects who were shown a diverse range of images, including natural photographs of animals and humans, artificial geometric shapes, and letters of the alphabet. These images were presented to the participants for different durations. In some cases, the participants' brain activity was measured while they viewed one of the 25 images, while in other cases, the activity was recorded later when they were asked to recall the image they had previously seen. Following the analysis of brain activity, they decoded the information and generated visual representations of the participants' thoughts. But is this the pinnacle of our ability to decipher thoughts? The straightforward answer is no. Let me explain why. In Takagi and his team's case, they encountered 2 significant challenges. Firstly, current methods of recurring brain activity rely on electrical pathways to transmit signals. Unfortunately, these pathways are susceptible to interference from electrical noise in the environment. This interference can greatly disrupt the sensitivity of recordings, making it challenging to obtain precise signals from the targeted brain region. Achieving this level of precision still is and will remain a challenge for researchers in the field for a long time. Secondly, the AI technology itself is not yet mature enough to create a universal solution. Currently, this technique cannot be applied to different individuals due to variations in brain structure among people. A model designed for one person cannot be directly applied to another individual. But there is more. This is not the only recorded attempt to read what is happening inside a human brain. And this time around, we are not just talking about detecting lies or drawing images. A groundbreaking research endeavor carried out by researchers from the University of Texas, Austin has unveiled an exciting new frontier, providing insights into the potential of AI to revolutionize human communication via mind reading. Their approach involved creating a three-dimensional visualization of a person's brain, a vivid display of neural activity. The visuals were quite striking: a sea of pink signifying above-average brain activity and patches of blue indicating areas with less activity. At first glance, it was like deciphering a cryptic code, trying to figure out which parts of the brain were buzzing with activity and which ones were quieter. I am linking the source article down in the description, so make sure you give it a read. It's not mine, and I'm not trying to market it for someone else. It's just there to give you the clarity you need. But here's where the magic truly happened. Through the power of AI, all those vibrant colors and patterns were translated into plain English. It was as if the AI could tap into the inner dialogue of the brain itself. A real leap forward, as one researcher described it, and indeed, it was a giant leap. No longer limited to mere hints or clues, this AI can string together coherent sentences, articulating the thoughts and feelings that danced within the brain's synapses. It wasn't just about understanding a sentence or recognizing a word. It was about capturing entire streams of text, complex ideas, and intricate interactions. To demonstrate this incredible feat, volunteers were asked to watch a movie clip in silence. The AI, without missing a beat, described the scene in astonishing detail. It wasn't just a description of what was happening on the screen, it was a glimpse into the inner workings of the volunteers' minds. A girl getting hit on the back and suddenly fall, all of it was translated into text, as if the AI had tapped directly into their thoughts. This technology holds tremendous promise. Medical researchers believe that it could one day help victims of strokes and individuals suffering from conditions like ALS communicate their thoughts to the outside world. But as this revolutionary technology is set to advance, questions about mental privacy and the freedom of thought will begin to surface. How far could this technology go? Could it be used by everyday people? These questions raised concerns about the potential invasion of one's innermost thoughts. What made this discovery even more remarkable was the fact that it was non-invasive. No electrodes were needed. Instead, a magnetic imaging machine played a central role, picking up subtle changes in brain flow. The precision of this process was nothing short of astonishing. Even more impressive is the fact that researchers tried to adapt their AI classifier for use in portable devices like functional near-infrared spectroscopy, which could track brain health in everyday life. Now, researchers are trying to achieve the same level of precision with everyday devices, suggesting that everyday mind reading could become a reality. As the demonstration ended, a new promise is being made. A promise that depicts a world where everyday wearable devices are set to incorporate neurotechnology. People have grown accustomed to monitoring their physical health with heart rate sensors and sleep trackers. Now, companies will be looking to delve into the realm of neurotechnology, potentially influencing how people think, feel, and interact with social media platforms. Now, I'm not going to jump into the details of Elon Musk's Neuralink and how they're trying to make brain chips for good, because the research work is on. But how will it change the world around us? It's a bipolar scenario that all of us need to acknowledge. While these achievements may help medical professionals in diagnosis and common people with stress and anxiety management, there is a dark side to this as well. What if these tools are employed for mass surveillance, discrimination, or even thought control, eroding the very foundations of individual freedom and democracy? To deal with the complex ethical dilemmas that arise at the intersection of neuroscience and society, experts need to work on neuroethics at quite the same pace as they are working on developing these technologies. Subscribe to the channel for all the latest and greatest news from the world of AI. I cannot read your mind at the moment, so please leave your feedback because that will help me create better content for you. I've uploaded another video in which I've discussed the historic significance of AI. It's on your screens. Click now and I'll catch you there in a second.